When we began Hypnartic artwork, our goal was to bring high quality wind sculptures to the masses. And I'd like to show, lately I've been getting a lot of questions about our product versus an imitator or a few imitators that have come onto the market, and people want to know what the differences are. So that's what I'm going to try and do here very quickly today. So the first item is the anchoring system, which is very, very important for the product to withstand substantial winds. The Hypnartic Artworks wind sculptures will withstand winds up to 50 miles an hour. To begin with, we have a very heavy-duty cast iron anchor that goes into the ground with 3 points. 3 points give you the most stable anchoring system you could possibly have. This gets hammered into the ground as far as you want to go. And we are on a hillside here, so it gives you good stability on an uneven surface. Our poles are solid cast iron. They're powder coated in a marine powder coating, which makes it very durable against salt and high humid areas. And they're cast iron, very, very heavy. This pole goes through our anchor, so now you've got 4 points that you're anchoring in, and the rest of our poles are also solid, and they just get screwed into, you just screw it onto the others, the bases. And we keep doing that until you get to your full 7 or 9 foot height, whichever one you're using. The competitive items that are selling less expensive, that say that they're equal to ours, their anchoring system is nothing more than copper tubing. In fact, household copper tubing that you use, that plumbers use. If you can get a good enough view there, you can see right up and through that tubing. It's hollow, whereas Hypnartic's larger diameter and solid cast iron. And we use cast iron because you remember the old cast iron fences that go around the old mansions across the country? They're in there for hundreds of years. Here's the 2 units. If I can show, let me show the base. So here's their anchoring system, the competitor's anchoring system. Again, a hollow tube. It's just a copper tube cut on an angle. And they place a little smaller copper tube versus ours, which is much larger diameter, half again that size, made of cast iron. Again, now let's view the 2 anchoring systems side by side. As you can see, there's no comparison. One is very, very substantial. We got 4 anchoring points, and the way you fashion this is you kind of step on it. I don't know how you get it into the ground. Well, if I hammer this, my fear is I'm going to break this weld joint on this angle. We showed you the lower portion, which is very important to keeping the product upright in high winds, because if they fall, you're going to damage the upper portion. If you look at our competitors, his leaves are thinner compared to our leaves. The unit itself is much smaller. It's more like a pinwheel size compared to ours, as you can see. There's probably a good 6 inches on either side, almost a foot. And if you look at, if I were to bend this, I can take this leaf and just with my fingertips, you can see what I'm doing. And if you could take ours, there is no way you can bend this with your fingertips. You would have to get in with a pair of pliers to bend ours, just to show you the thickness. The other key difference is, if the unit should fall over, the leaves on this wind sculpture are soldered to copper arms. And you can see the solder joints here, 2 solder joints to the copper arms. Copper, again, being very, very soft, these arms will bend very easily. And as I said, the tips, look at this whole thing, how quickly it can bend. I can just flex it. Now if you zero in on our leaves, again, I'm pressing as hard as I possibly can. You can't bend one of our leaves. The copper is much thicker. The way we variegated our leaves adds added strength. Additionally, we rivet all of our leaves to a stainless steel arm. Stainless, not bending like copper. And if you look here, we actually make a pocket for the arm to go through, actually 2 pockets. And if you look, the rivets coming through an entire pocket in the rear. This is designed so if a unit should fall over, the likelihood of the leaf breaking or this bending is very, very remote. To summarize, when you're buying a wind sculpture, very important, a strong anchoring system, strong pole to keep your wind sculpture upright in high winds. Number 2, you want to make sure that you have a method of attaching the leaves to the arms, again, that are very strong, as we've done here with rivets. We make our own rivets. We drill holes through the stainless steel. Our leaves, you got to make sure that, again, that these things are thick enough, your metal is thick enough that if it should fall, the unit should fall, it's not going to bend or break.